Hello, this is Towanna Freeman with Purposeful Parents, and I am glad you could join us for this session of Purposeful Parents. And I have a special guest today, and this is one of the guests that I look to when it comes to relationships and building positive relationships. And we're not just talking about, romantic relationships. We're talking about family relationships with those people that you love, the people that support you on a day-to-day, or those who do not support you on a day-to-day. And so with me today is Coach Vertis Williams. Vertis, how are you today?
Fine. How you doing, Towanna?
I'm fantastic. So today I would like to ask you a question that I believe a lot of our parents out there would love to have answered by an expert like yourself. And the question is, how can we have more positive mentors to save our sons? And the reason why I ask this is because there are so many challenges that we have in our community today, and we're always looking to do the best we can for our young black males. And so I wanted to reach out to you regarding mentorship and how positive mentorship can actually help our children. So can you give our audience some pointers or some supportive encouragement that will allow them to direct their children to mentors?
Well, the important thing about having a mentor is it gives people, especially young men, a healthy guide to what it is to be a man, and not so much some of the stereotypical images that they get from TV, the internet, and society. Just these ideals of these false ideals of what manhood is. And the important thing of having mentorship is it gives a young man a healthy a healthy outlook on what it is to be a man, and to guide them into the transition from adolescence into adulthood, and to make that transition as painless as possible by giving them a good, healthy role model and mentorship in how it is to become a man, or what it is to become a healthy man. And so I think it's very important to go along those lines and to explore many different options exist within the clergy, different organizations, African American based organizations within your city, within your state, that have programs where you can get young men together with a mentor that will kind of answer some of those difficult questions and kind of walk them through, give them a good visual of what it is to be a healthy man.
Vertis, one of the things that you said is obviously reach out into the community and find members of the clergy or people who are associated in youth programs in the community. A lot of times, a lot of mothers or parents tend to avoid reaching out to strangers because there's so many unfortunate situations where we have, bad cases of bad mentoring relationships or things that, end up hurting our children. Are there any ways that we can screen, let's say, I'll use the word screen because it is an evaluation process. How can we better judge our mentors for our children in the world we live in today?
Well, that's a good question. I think one good way is definitely to do due diligence and do as much research as possible. Definitely asking around different, either within your circle, if it's not anybody within your circle, just definitely asking around different professional agencies and seeing what are some reputable organizations that have done this. Pay attention to getting a lot of information on the organization as much as possible, finding out what their process is for screening different mentors. To get more familiar, to get comfortable with possibly taking your child there, then actually going to the facility and walking around and seeing if you feel comfortable with the individuals there, meeting them and getting a lot of research. Because ultimately, you are right. It is a risk taking a young person out and putting them in the care of somebody else, especially with our society. It is a risk. But the way to lower the risk and to lower the anxiety of actually doing that is by doing research, getting more familiar with the institutions and organizations in your city, getting possibly referrals from trusted people, talking to the people who have actually participated in these programs, just getting as much information as you can, and just Yeah, just basically getting as much information as you possibly can about the organization before you would actually entrust your young one to be cared for by this facility. To basically just really, really research it, so to the point where you feel comfortable that you can do it.
Absolutely, and those are great points, because a lot of times we tend not to take action because of our fears. You know, I'm afraid that something may happen to my son or my daughter, so therefore I would prefer not to, take the steps to find someone that can support them. But if you're a single parent and you need that extra support and you need that positive role model and you're raising a son, obviously all these things that Coach Vertis has pointed out are super, super helpful. In addition to that, though, I would also encourage you all to look to the school system. Allow your school systems to also refer. You have athletic coaches. You have a lot of times who have already connected with your children, so they could probably refer some people as well to you within the community. So utilize the people that are within your network. Just like Coach Vertis has said, do not be afraid to take the step, because it is important these days and time. We can't be all things sometimes to our children, and so having that positive role model and doing as he said, your due diligence to find that supportive person in the community to help you in this journey as you're raising your young men, take advantage of any programs and services that are out there. So thank you, Coach Vertis. I appreciate your time. And where can we find you on the Internet?
Well, my website is www.regulatingresistance.com. I also do many articles for the BLC, and just those are the best places to find me on the Internet.
Okay, again, you can reach Coach Vertis Williams at Regulating Resistance, and he's also, you can read more of his articles on blacklifecoaches.net. Thank you, Vertis. I hope to talk to you and have you back on again.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.